Chairman. I propose that subhead 000, head 156, I'm slashing $73 billion. That's equivalent to the Commission's study on the effectiveness of BCA, TSA, and other initiatives. That's the annual expenditure for this. I'm slashing the whole lot. Mr. Leung Kwok-hong and other members said that with regard to TSA, in fact, we had a public hearing on Monday with 3 sessions. The Secretary chose to attend one of them, and then he chose to attend a ceremony in Shantou, and he attended only part of the public hearing, and he didn't care about the voices expressed at the public hearing. But I find this really mystifying. Normally, officials will have to pick and choose about the competing events. They have to weigh up the importance. I mean, is it more important to attend a chambers ceremony than attending the public hearing to listen to the sentiments about TSA or BCA? There are so many people in the deputations. How can you say that this is unimportant? Mr. Reddick, you owe us an explanation. You owe us an apology. This is a must. I hope that the Secretary will not evade the issue. Chairman, this $73 million for TSA study, this is to design the exam papers, the printing and administrative costs, and the Education Department will also commission specific studies on the TSA and so on. All the expenditures represent the costs in the contract. It doesn't represent the entire expenditure. There is another sum that the government has to shell out for publicity about the TSA. That this publicity fee is not incorporated into the $73 million. Over the past 3 years, in terms of TSA publicity, $2.3 million is spent on public transport, or the APIs, $90,000 for the API on the internet, altogether $2.39 million for publicity. If TSA is something we consider wonderful, why do you need so much publicity? Why is it that you don't let people warm up to TSA themselves? Why do you have to mount all these publicity initiatives? We spend so much money. What is the result? Let's take a look at the P3 TSA. We have P3, S3, and P6. Let's take the P3 TSA. Each year, the annual expenditure is $24 million. That's what the members of the public are paying for with such a vast sum of money. What do we get in return? This is the precise question we have to ask. The administration said that there are 2 major objectives with regard to TSA. The first one is to improve the schools. The second is a system monitoring. The government can use the information to improve the education level. For those who fall behind, there can be assistance, there can be counseling for the students. For the needy schools, there can be support. There can be an assessment of the effectiveness of a particular school. These are the overriding objectives that the government said this will achieve. But in reality, we have not seen any specific evidence adduced by the administration to show that TSA is able to enhance the level of schools. TSA is a quantitative system. If it is an effective tool, then it should be able to tell us the changes in marks and the changes in percentages. We have pursued this in electrical many times. We failed to get any evidence from the administration. The EDB said the TSA can provide feedback to the education system. At the education panel, I've been pursuing this with the officials in order to get the information. The TSA results, how much improvement have you seen? In 2016, 22nd of March, at the education panel meeting, I pursued this question. The then attending official, Madam Chen, said briefly that in one school, the English level has seen improvement using the TSA data. That's all I got. I pursued further. I drew a blank. TSA involves so many schools. It's been going on for a decade or more. Why is it they are only able to cite the results of one single school? This is ridiculous. Why is it that the TSA cannot achieve the desired effect? There are a couple of reasons. The TSA's feedback is lagging behind. The TSA is going on next month. We're going to have the written test. The results will not become available this year. They will become available next year for schools. Next year, P6 students have gone on to S1. Now, how would the information be of any use? P3 students have gone on to P4. The teachers have changed. Now, this is a question of lagging behind. Second, the TSA assessment is a summative assessment. It is not there to help the schools to achieve improvement. It's not it is designed to do. It's just like cutting an apple. You have to use a fruit knife, and you're given an instrument to open a letter with, and you're not able to cut an apple with that kind of blunt instrument. This is not the most effective tool to improve education. All these reasons, there are so many reasons, in fact, they cannot become an effective tool for assessment. And this assessment doesn't show the results or the academic achievement of individual students. I think that this is wholly irrelevant. Since TSA has got nothing to show for it, it begs the question, with so much money plowed into it, are we able to help the students to make an improvement? Without such effectiveness, is it worth devoting additional resources? If the nature of TSA remains unchanged, however hard we try to tinker around the edges, we cannot change anything. That they are making the exam papers less difficult. Is it a solution to the problem? The PTA conducts opinion survey every other year. We've conducted 3 surveys among the students. We also conducted a survey among the principals. We have published articles. We have conducted detailed study. We found that the problems that lie about the design, and second, in the process of implementation, things are getting out of hand. All these problems have to be addressed. 2015 in May, I raised an oral question regarding the TSA. 2 years ago, a lot of the members of the public don't have any clue about TSA. The TSA has become a hot topic only for 2 years. The administration made available the TSA steering committee's membership list. It is a government official that chairs the meeting. We don't have any PTA representatives on the committee. Repeatedly, we've queried why groups that hold diverse views should be incorporated, and parents who are concerned are not incorporated. Under these circumstances, it would be hard to absorb a wide variety of views, so the review fails to achieve any consensus. Now, they are implementing this wholesale, and this has given rise to even more contention. There are 36 members here who have signed a petition. There are two major aspirations. First, can we suspend the TSA this year? Second, failing that, should we allow autonomy to parents and schools to decide whether to take part in the TSA? If you allow autonomy for teachers and parents, it would not get in the way of the system. But as of now, the administration is still reluctant to take a decision about autonomy for parents and for schools. There is no clear reply from the administration. The government is holding everybody to ransom. The government is coercing everybody in every school to be part of it. As a consequence, the society remains diametrically opposed. During the public hearing a couple of days ago, I spoke at the end of it, and I said, and I repeat, that there is so much confrontation that could have been avoided. In the education policy, TSA does not represent the most important element. It represents the small, tiny component of the system. Why is it that the administration is so reluctant to heed public opinions? Why is it that the administration is so reluctant to be sensible and come up with some reasonable arrangement? Why is it that in the academe there are so many professors that have advanced their views? Why is it that the administration is brushing them aside and not taking on board the views?
Well, you are selectively listening to people's views, and you are being obstinate in your approach. And that has led to huge problems in the education sector. Today, Zhang Ning-Huang of CUHK wrote an article in the newspaper about TSA. He said that the TSA should only be used for monitoring the performance of students on a territory-wide basis, and it should not be holding schools responsible if the grades are poor in that school. It should be done in an anonymous way. No names of schools and students should be taken down, and that should be a random approach to it, so that we can do away with the incentive for drilling. But the secretary so insisted that the names of the schools should be recorded. So we're still in a stalemate. And Professor Zhang Ning-Huang doesn't represent himself only in his views. I raised something similar in our study. Professor Chen Kai-ming of Hong Kong U, many professors in CUHK, Wang Sheichu, Wang Hua, and Education University. The professors there have raised similar comments. Is the EDB willing to listen to all these views? The public hopes a balanced curriculum can be put in place, and students can learn in the normal environment. If we want to go ahead with TSA, we should conduct first an in-depth study and come up with a revised version of the test. I hope that the government should withdraw the TSA and should not force schools to do it.